In this video, I'm going to talk about when I'm grieving, what is the best way that my family and my friends, my circle, can support me. It's quite hard when you're grieving. I know I found it hard to feel that people get it right for me. And there are some things they do that are incredibly wonderful and helpful and supportive, and there are some that really stick a bit. So I'm going to try and unpick these, and this is also for the people that are trying to help you so that they know the best way, and you could signpost them to this video clip if you want, if you find it hard to talk about. What I would say to my friends and family and my circle is, if you don't know what to say to me, rather than be silent, could you try these? And really, they are open questions. They're not closing me down. So things like, I don't know what to say, but it's terribly sad. What happened? How are you feeling today? Would you like to talk? What can I do? Or are you happy for me to do X for you? So these sort of things you might ask me are really just open-ended so that I can tell you what would be useful for me, and you're not presuming what that would be. I would also say that when I've been grieving, I've really wanted people to talk about my loved one and not to forget them and to use their name. You know, it doesn't need to be something that's sort of slid under the carpet. I want to talk about them. I want to tell you about them, the happy times we had, or something funny or amusing, or even a difficult time, or something about the story of their dying. I don't want to be closed down with that. Please let me cry as much as I want and as often as I want. Don't try and shut down my tears. I need to cry, and it's really lovely if you can just be alongside me in that. You don't actually need to do anything. And when I talk to you, can you listen without judgment? Because I'm talking from my perspective, and it's really hard if you judge me and you judge my grief. What I want you to know is that there's no time frame for my grief, so please don't assume that in 6 months I'm feeling better. I'm not. I'm absolutely not. I am maybe quieter about my grief, but I'm still carrying my grief. I might need to go over the story of the death a lot of times, and that is how I'm going to make sense of it. So please let me, and I'm sorry if I repeat myself, but I need to do it, and I need to do it a lot. And I'd really like it if you could be okay with that. It would be lovely if you'd give me a hug, cook me a meal, take me out, do my shopping, walk my dog. And if you are kind enough to make an offer to help me, please could you follow through on it? Because empty offers of help that don't come to fruition are really disappointing and frustrating. Sometimes I might need to rest. If I have children, could you take them out? Because I just can't deal with their energy right now. And it would be lovely for them to get out of this house of grief for a few hours, because I know that they need some fun and they need time to be themselves and just to be children. If I keep saying no every time you ask me out, please keep asking me, because one day I'm going to be brave enough to say yes, and I would like to go to the cinema or out for a bite to eat. Please don't stop. can you take me to the great outdoors, or can you come for a walk with me? Because I know it's healing to be in nature, and it would be lovely if you were there. And if I don't want to drive to get there, could you be the designated driver? Because I feel a bit anxious on the roads at the moment, or driving is difficult for me after the death. Please don't be shocked if I laugh. I'm grieving, but there's humour too. There is always humour. It's not bad to laugh when you're grieving, and it would be lovely if you would laugh with me. I might be angry sometimes, and I'm sorry about that. I might even be very, very angry. But it's not personal. It's just about what's happened. It's just an emotion. It's just passing through me. Please try not to take it personally. And I do want you to know that actually I feel safest at home, because that's where my loved one was. I feel content there. I can cope with my grief there. So sometimes going out feels scary, and I don't need you to pull me, but gentle encouragement would be good. But if I say no, would you kindly respect that? Today I just can't go out, and that's how it is. The things that stick a bit, I would ask you, please try not to talk about your own losses. I know it's tempting. There is no comparison of grief, and your grief might not be the same as my grief. People do grieve very, very differently, and each has its own landscape. Please don't avoid mentioning him or her. Please don't avoid the word died. It's important to say it as it is to me. And don't be upset if I don't want to see you. Again, it's not personal. It's just how I feel today. Please don't touch or throw anything away without asking me first. I will need to go through his or her belongings. And of course, that's a job I need to do, but each item is so valuable and so important, and might need to be considered and thought about carefully. Please don't tell me to sort the ashes out right away. I don't have to do it within any time frame. It can be years if I want to, or never if I want to. That's my decision. Please don't cross the road when you see me in town. That's really hard for me. And importantly, please don't judge me when I start a new life, or if I find a new partner. I must live my life the way I want to live it. And remember, I would much rather have my loved one back, but I can't have that, so I must make a new life. And please don't pressure me to go back to work before I'm ready. I just don't want to, and I can't.